Hello, Denise here, and I want to break down the last skill that we're going to talk about in this video series, which is gratitude. There is a scripture in the Bible that says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God concerning you," and that's in 1 Thessalonians 5:18. And I can't say enough about how gratitude changes you and changes your perspective. All of the intimacy skills that we've talked about are really about changing yourself and seeking to control the only person you can control, which is you, and changing your attitude. Gratitude is focusing on the positive and spending as little energy as possible on the negatives. If you are grateful for something, you accept it the way it is. And you can't be grateful for something and criticize it at the same time. There's a story that was told about world-renowned motivational speaker Zig Ziglar of a woman who came to him at a conference and expressed to him how she had all this bitterness about her job and how she hated her coworkers. And Zig Ziglar told her to write down all the positives, all the things she could be grateful for about her job. For example, her paycheck, any benefits she had, vacation, etc. And he told her to express these things daily to herself and then tell herself in the mirror every day that she loved her job. 6 weeks later, he ran into her again and she expressed to him that she was doing extremely well and that she was surprised, and he would be surprised as well, at how all the people at her job had changed. And the reality was that nothing had changed except her perspective and her gratitude. So I want to encourage you to make a gratitude list and to look at it frequently, especially when your mind goes to negative thoughts or to worry. Sometimes we get so focused on the negative, we forget about the positives. Another powerful tool that we can use that kind of falls under the gratitude umbrella is the tool of affirmation. So if you think about it, we affirm things in a positive or negative way all the time. We affirm things about ourselves and we affirm things about others. So be very wary of and aware of self-criticism, because we often create our own self-fulfilling prophecies without even realizing it with the narrative that we are telling ourselves in our head. The mind is a powerful thing, and our thinking can change our brain, which in turn can change our behavior, which can change our health. So all of those things are integrated. So I'm going to give you an example. If I tell myself that I am a fat loser and I will never lose weight and I will never be healthy, I will not be motivated to change my behavior. Especially if I continue to say that narrative, I start believing it. So here's a little phrase to tell yourself. I believe what I tell myself, and I tell myself what I believe. It is a cycle. So if you are believing some things about yourself that you need to change, you need to change the narrative. Change what you are telling yourself so you will change what you believe about yourself. It is a cycle. So often we put ourselves into a place because we are believing things that we are telling ourselves. So if I tell myself that narrative, I will never lose weight, I'll never be healthy, I'm going to be stuck in that reality. However, if I change the narrative and tell myself, yes, maybe I have a few extra pounds, but I desire to be healthy, I desire to be active, I'm on a journey to be healthy, then I will start to see myself in that light and believe that, and my behavior will change because I will follow. So affirmations work all the time for us and for others, whether they're negative or positive. So what we're going to do is tap into positive affirmations. So affirmations also work with the people in your lives. We can create self-fulfilling prophecies for ourselves, but we can also create narratives for others. Sometimes for our significant others, we could call them spouse-fulfilling prophecies. For our kids, for our co-workers, It's actually a form of positive behavior support. So when we affirm others, they can see how we see them, which in turn often makes them want to meet the expectation, and their behavior can change. So if I say to a friend, "You're always late," which is probably not true because it's not 100% of the time, I could probably collect evidence on both sides. How much this person was late, how much this person was on time. However, if I tell them "you're always late," I'm affirming that behavior. So that person might actually start to meet my expectation 100% of the time because they know that I don't hold them to any higher standard. It's like when you tell a kid, you'll never amount to anything. If they start believing that, then they're not going to be motivated to, achieve their goals. But if I stretch that affirmation to the positive, for example, when my friend is late, I might say, "Wow, it's not like you to be late." Then they have the opportunity to meet that expectation to the positive and step into my higher standard for them. It's really about us needing to build others up and not tear them down. And if you think about it, we can collect evidence in a positive or negative for people in their lives. But the positive affirmations actually help others by building them up, but they also benefit us as well. So our perspective changes depending on our focus. What we focus on increases. If you are always focused on the negative, then you will become a negative person. And the opposite is true as well. What is amazing about our minds and our brains is that we can actually flip the negatives to a positive. The next time you have a negative complaint about a situation or a person come up in your mind, look for evidence that is positive and then be grateful for it. If you can flip your negatives to a positive, you will see a lot of changes, not only in yourself, but in the people around you. So the homework that I'd like to give you for this skill is make a list of gratitudes. You might want to make more than one list. You might want to make a list about certain people in your lives. If you have a person or a situation that you are struggling with, make a gratitude list for that particular situation or person and review it daily. See if your perspective changes. Research has shown that grateful people are happy people. And I've experienced this in my own life when I've come up against something that I've been struggling with. I can often see the positives when I make a gratitude list and put my focus there. So I'm going to encourage you to focus on gratitude, and hopefully this video is helpful. Again, as always, reach out if you need to. Denise Hammonds signing off.